What's going on, Philadelphia? My name is Devin Buchanan, founder and executive director of the Focus Youth Network, and welcome to Youth Uncut, a show that gives youth a voice and an opportunity to discuss the things that mean most to them. Today, I'm excited because we are talking about college, the stuff they never told us. And, when I think about college, I think about the process and all the things that we did to get into it. And so I'm excited to bring today one of my favorite people. I've been privileged to develop a relationship with this young man, and I'm excited because he is really what I believe to be a college student in this city to be about. He's certainly motivated, and so I'm looking forward to talking to him about the things that they never told us about college. Today we have DeMonte Fowler Thomas with us today. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well.
Good. And we're excited to have you on here, man. We met not too long ago, right, and have just continued to stay in contact. And, I'm excited to really talk to you today because I think that there's a lot of value that we can bring in just a really candid conversation to our young people, to our listeners, to our viewers out there, just this college process and what it's like to go through the process and then get into it. And so, we have a short program, so we're going to hop into it. And really just, the first question that I have for you is, this theme of college that I always hear about the things that you need to do to be successful. And one of those things that I've always talked about and heard is time management. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to talk to you and ask you the question of, why is time management so difficult for college students to master nowadays?
Well, me personally, I think that time management is something that you can never really master. It's something that you just keep getting better at and better at throughout life. I think in college it's hard for a lot of students because this is the first time you have so many opportunities and events presented to you. You got networking opportunities to build your resume, parties, going out with friends, traveling. Yeah. And you really don't have no restraint like you would have in high school and middle school. Somebody is telling you that you can't do these things. So you really have to be self-aware and you have to be responsible. And that takes time for a lot of people. Everybody develops that trait at a different time.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said, and I'm always listening to people, you talked about self-awareness, right? Mm-hmm. And that's something that I try to teach to my students, even at a young age in middle school, because understanding your strengths and weaknesses and understanding the things you need to work on in your life, I believe is really the key to moving forward. When you went to college, did you struggle with your time management at all? And if so, I can see it. And if so, what are one specific thing that really caused you to struggle a little bit with your time management?
I think most of my struggles came, in regard to the time management, most of my struggles came in just being distracted with, having fun, going to parties and hanging out with the crew and stuff like that. Yeah. But as you progress in age and maturity, you learn what's important to you. Yeah. So I started to do things like I got a planner. Okay. The planner was probably one of the best things I ever purchased. Mm-hmm. And what I would do is at the end of each month, leading into the preceding month, I would look over all my syllabi for my classes. Okay. And I would chart every assignment that I had due for the upcoming month. Wow. So as I go through the month, all I have to do is check things off the list. Yeah. I downloaded Google Calendar on my phone, so I would structure out all of my days by the hour. Just things like that. And one of my mentors, she told me to prioritize my schedule based on importance. Mm-hmm. So if there was a lot of opportunities or things that I could have been a part of, I'm a yes man sometimes, so I like to be a part of everything. Absolutely. But after a certain time period, you learn that could burn you out. So you gotta look at your schedule and be like, okay, this is what I need to do, and I got a little bit of room for the things I want to do and I want to be a part of. What's one or two of these things that I could do realistically? Yeah. And you check it off and you go from there. And staying organized, that all helps the process.
And brother, I'm sitting here learning from you because those are lessons that I didn't really learn till I got to be older, till I got to be a professional and had to navigate all these things. And I wish I, one, had a mentor, and I two, wish that I had those skills and the knowledge of how to manage that time. And even hearing you talk about, hey, I just charted out all of my assignments, so I wasn't caught off guard by what I had, to turn in. So I think those skills, just providing them with, our watchers, our viewers with those concrete skills, just added a ton of value to them. And so that's great. And even kind of segueing in, you talked about self-awareness, right? And it's clear to me that you've thought about the things that you're good at, how to set yourself up for success. And so this might be a tough question, but how do you really see yourself as a black male, having graduated undergrad, now being in grad school? Where do you see yourself being positioned in our society right now to be successful?
Me personally, I don't think this question is hard because I'm the type of person that I believe that I would have been successful with or without a college degree.
Yeah.
And that's mostly because of how I choose to live my life on a day-to-day and my value for education.
Yeah.
I'm a very curious person. I like to ask questions. I'm outgoing. But also, I like to learn in any way, shape, form possible. So on a day-to-day, I'm reading books, I'm reading newspaper articles, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm talking to my elders, the people that came before me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think those qualities allow me to be here with you today because I saw you hosting a panel. That's how we met. You didn't ask me to be a part of it, but I saw people and I'm like, this is an event that I could contribute to.
Absolutely.
I have skills, I want to demonstrate these skills and I could help somebody out and get some experience along the way.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to reach out to him. So I took that initiative and we built this relationship and I'm able to sit here today. And I feel like a lot of kids, they're afraid to put themselves out there in that way for opportunities. They wait for opportunities to come to them versus going out there and seeking what you want in life.
Absolutely.
So I believe that I'm at the University of Penn. I'm very fortunate to go there. I graduated from Temple University, but the degree would never make me because of how I choose to live my life on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And that degree is just a paper. You have taken the opportunity while you are in school to set yourself up for success by practicing the networking skills, by making sure that you're reaching out to people and not waiting for opportunities to come to you.
Right.
And I even had to remind myself when we were sitting here, like, wait, how did I meet you? Like, and you messaged me and said, hey, I see you're doing this thing. I have this skill, I want to be a part of it. And then on top of that, you came and you killed it.
Right.
And so now we've established this relationship and said, hey, he offered this value before. I see what he's capable of. I see the character that he has. Let's continue this relationship. And I think that's a skill that a lot of young people are missing. So it's awesome that you're sharing that. I have one more question before we go to our break, and then we're going to come back and I think get into like the nitty gritty of college. When you're thinking about college and what you're going to do after school, how important is it for you to build a personal brand? And when I talk about a personal brand, right, I mean Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Like, what do you do right now to let people know who DeMonte Thomas is?
Well, me personally, I think it comes from first knowing what you do well. And I think once you find out what you do well, you try to get as many opportunities as possible for you to cultivate upon this gift or skill or trait or whatever it is. You try to find as many opportunities to speak in front of people, to speak on panels or whatever it is that you do. You got to find ways to cultivate it, and then you got to raise awareness about what you're doing. So whether that be through putting it on your resume, putting it on your LinkedIn, putting it on your Instagram and your Facebook, and you have to let people know. But you also have to do it in a way that's relatable but also professional.
Absolutely.
So you learn all of those things as you go. What I like to do is follow people that are in my industry that are doing what I would like to do and are where I would like to be. I follow those people. I see how they present themselves on social media, on the internet, and I try to pattern myself after that.
Absolutely, man. Listen, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? When people are doing it and they're doing it well, it's really important to follow patterns and then add your little flavor to it, which is awesome. When we do come back from the break, I want to know more about your YouTube, how you're building a brand with that. We're really going to talk about some of the things that I think kids go to college for the wrong reasons and really get into the nitty gritty. So guys, thank y'all for tuning in. When we come back from the break, we're gonna have DeMonte and we're gonna bring another guest on, one of our other mentees, Sierra, who is another just amazing individual who will talk about just her experiences and how she has navigated her life through college. Today, we're talking about college, the stuff they never told us. We'll be back soon.
Wake each morning and get lost in the adventure, knowing that you will be ready for wherever the day takes you. Learn from those willing to teach. Their wisdom and their strength will become yours. They will impart to you a tradition of education nationally recognized for its value. A tradition worthy of your best efforts. As young men and women of LaSalle, we will invest in you the guidance to blaze your own path. To go forth into the unknown with new certainty. To realize your full potential as professionals, as leaders, as citizens. To take up your place as the accountants, speech therapists, journalists, and CEOs of your generation. To impact this city and the world beyond. These adventures are yours, and you are ready for them. Explorers are never lost.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Youth Uncut. My name is Coach Devin Buchanan, the founder and executive director of the Focus Youth Network. The Focus Youth Network is a nonprofit organization that provides innovative educational and recreational activities for youth and their families, centered around three main pillars: wellness and nutrition education, character development, and post-secondary success. I'm excited today because we're talking about one of my favorite topics. We're talking about college, the stuff they never told us. Again, college is one of those things that when you think about it, so many people want to go, but they're not quite sure the process to get there and then what it's like once they get there. And so I'm excited to bring two people here that I really revere. I think they're great, amazing people, amazing college students, and what I believe to be better people. Today we have DeMonte Fowler-Thomas, who is a grad student at University of Pennsylvania, and we have Sierra Brooks, who is a current junior at Cabrini University. Welcome, guys.
Nice to be here.
And so I asked both of y'all to come on here. One, I've known you for a long time, right?
A long time.
DeMonte, we've just met, but both of you, even in the different amounts of time that we've met, I've seen amazing things from both of you people. You know, Sierra, I've watched you grow. You were intern for a while, you know, with the Focus Youth Network, and my first scholarship recipient, which I'm super excited about. DeMonte, we've just been able to build this relationship over the last few months and just get to know each other. And so today we're going to talk about college. You know, one thing I know you guys know a lot about. And so Sierra, you're at Cabrini College. How's it going there now?
Okay, so it's really interesting. I like the campus. I met a lot of like amazing people. I love the staff, like especially my advisor, Dr. Mace. Shout out to him. Yeah, like since I've been there, I've really grown as a person. Like before, I would like slack off, but there is like it's a close-knit family, so it's like everybody wants you to do well.
Okay.
So I was used to that because of mastery, so it kind of prepared me for that.
So being at Cabrini, you're in your third year now, right? So in your third year, I'm assuming that school has gotten more difficult. You have built a network. There's more opportunities. So with those opportunities, with those things, how have you managed your time? What are some things that you've done, either successfully or unsuccessfully, to manage your time?
So one way that I've been like really working on my time management is saying like, okay, is this important or is that important? And like balance out what I want to do exactly. If I know that this paper is due at 11:59, okay, I may just have to miss cheer practice. I can't go. But I don't know. Time management is really hard in college simply because it's like it's so many things that are due at one time, and it's like you're trying to like balance out everything but still be social but not be as like social as you want to be. So it's like you have to find that balance. And once you find that balance, then it's like, okay, this is getting kind of easy. But there are days that I like want to just stay in bed, throw the covers over my head, and just not go anywhere. But I know that's not possible. So I just manage out how I'm going to do this, and then I'll do that, and just break it down step by step, basically.
And you talked about balance, right? That was a key word. And I know DeMonte talked about self-awareness. And so I know it's, you know, he said he was a yes man, which is the same thing for me. Even with my organization now, there's all types of things I want to do, events and shows and cooking classes and things like that. But I can't always say yes to everything, right? And so, you know, I think, you know, like you guys said, it's important to start to think about what is really important to you. And I'm going to challenge you to say what's important, not just in terms of getting things done, you know, GSD, people always say, get it done, right? So not just getting things done, but it's more of, is this thing going to push me to the next level, right? Is meeting this person going to take me to the next level, or is it just another thing to do? Is it just another event to go to? So now you start to categorize not just important, but urgent, right? A lot of times we say things are important, but they're more urgent. Right. They don't actually need to be done. They just happen to need to be done right now. So, you know, just kind of thinking about those things, right? One other thing that, you know, we talked about in the last segment was personal branding, right? Now, what I love about you over the last couple years, I've watched you slowly but surely build up your brand as a makeup artist, right? What do they call that? MUA, a makeup artist?
MUA.
Yeah. So how have you built that brand? How have you gone, you know, not just college student, but Sierra, the MUA, the makeup artist?
So what started my journey of like doing makeup was I was in 11th grade, and I just was like, okay, I want to try something new. Like everybody does hair, everybody everybody does makeup, but what can I do that is different from everybody else? So I started playing with different like looks, and then I was always watching YouTube. I watched YouTube to learn everything. And then I started trying it on myself. Then I started involving other people, like, oh, can you come over and I could do your makeup, I could do this, I could do that. And I just started practicing and practicing. Then when I felt like I was getting good at what I was doing, then that's when I started buying like the most expensive makeup palettes and the best brushes. I wanted to like have everything that would, you know, bring me success. And it was like I couldn't do that with just a makeup sponge and a brush. It's like I need all of the tools. So yeah.
Bro, that's what I'm talking about. He was in my head. I was just about to say, you started investing in yourself. You said, listen, I want to go to the next level. I can't play around with this, right? I started investing in myself, and then you started reaping the benefits, which is awesome. The cool thing that I think about college is there's so many of them, and there's so many different types that people can go to. But I also knew when I started my college search, you know, where you think I wanted to go when I went to college? Now, I'm not talking about the actual college. What state you think I wanted to go to?
California.
California, because it's warm, or Florida? Either one of them. I just wanted to go to college in a warm place. I didn't care where it was. I didn't care is it warm there? Is it out of Philadelphia? I'm there, right? And so many college students are picking colleges for the wrong reasons. And then when they get there, they're not really concentrating on the things they need to concentrate on, right? You know, full disclosure, I remember my first night at college, I went to a party, first night drinking. Had never drank before in my life, but that was my first experience. I was out of the house and I couldn't wait, right? I couldn't wait. Let's talk about like some of the things that kids struggle with, and how can kids overcome going to college for the wrong reasons? Like, have you guys struggled with trying to be too social?
I actually didn't, because I was social for opportunities that was going to develop me personally and professionally.
Yeah.
So I was social, but I was doing things that could go on my resume, so I could acquire skills. I wasn't indulging in things that wasn't going to help me get to the next level.
Yeah, yeah. How about you? What was your college experience? Were you social? Did you struggle at all?
Well, transitioning from like mastery into college, I was very like antisocial in mastery. I didn't really like partake in anything. And then when I got to college, it was like I just became this little social butterfly. I was here, I was there, I was there, and then it was like, okay, you're becoming way too social. Like, can you benefit off this person?
Yeah.
Like, how can you build that network with that next person?
Yeah.
And it was like, if I couldn't make that network with you, it was just like, okay, I can't really hang with you how I want to.
Yeah.
So let me go hang out with these kids that might be in communications or in the education department. And so that's how I started to like, come out my shell and then be social that way, and opposed to it being negative.
I want to say something off of that. I feel like a lot of kids where we come from in the inner city, especially Philadelphia, you going to college with this mentality of, I'm going to surround myself with the people that look, talk, and dress just like I do, because it keeps you comfortable. But I realized I didn't start to grow, and my mind didn't start to shift until I met people from all different backgrounds that came from all across the world.
Absolutely.
I'm having conversations with these people, and I'm hearing them say words I never heard before. They having thoughts I never heard before. They challenging my views. Some of my views I can't even explain why I have them, but it's just because I'm from a certain place.
Yeah, exactly.
And once I noticed that, I'm like, this is what I need. Like, I need to be around people that are going to challenge me to evolve and become a better person.
Exactly, exactly. It's amazing to hear y'all say that. And it honestly, it gives me a lot of hope for young people, and y'all not little kids or by any means, but for young people, I'm not young anymore. I'm youthful, but I start to think about, the things that I've got stuck in, the ways that I've been stuck in, the thinking that I've been stuck in. And I think thinking has changed a lot, and you have access to a lot more than what we had. And so I think it's also important to educate youth on how to use those things, right? Like, what made you want to reach out to me for the youth summit? Like, what was the thing that pushed you to want to do that? And it might not have just been connecting with me, but I'm thinking a bit more of like goals. Like, what was the thing that made you want to do that?
Honestly speaking, I'm working on becoming a better public speaker. So like I said, I'm putting myself in as many situations as possible so I could cultivate that skill.
Yeah.
I had a public speaking teacher, my professor in my freshman year of college. And I remember she just was giving me such a hard time. I felt like she was riding me more than anybody else in the class.
Yeah.
And she pulled me aside one day and she said, I believe that you could become a great public speaker. You're a natural, so I want you to keep working on this, and I'm gonna challenge you to become better.
Yeah.
So after I took that class, I really started to like public speaking. So I'm like, I'm gonna get these awards so I could go up there and speak in front of these people. I'm gonna speak on panels. I'm gonna go speak at schools. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to talk to the people and get my message out. So I saw this. I'm like, this is an opportunity for me to do what I do love most, giving back, working with the youth, but also developing my skill in public speaking.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, let me reach out, because we can help each other out.
Absolutely, absolutely. How about you? What are some of your goals that you have, just moving forward? I know, we haven't seen each other in a while, but you've stayed part of the Focus Youth Network. You stayed part of, the fashion show. So what are some of the goals that you have moving forward?
So one goal of mine moving forward is to build better relationships with like the younger kids that are coming up after us.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like once you have that connection with them, it's like they'll be more comfortable in talking to you, and then you are more open to give them advice, and they'll be able to like receive the advice instead of looking at it as you're riding them in a sense. And then another goal of mine is to basically like just continue working on my craft, like whether it be makeup or like I did my internship at the funeral home.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get back in that business as well as going and teaching history, African American history to the inner schools kids. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like I said, guys, it's been an honor to just get to know y'all over this short period of time. For you, a few years. For you, just a few months. But like I said, it's been an honor to get to know you guys and see the growth that can take place when people are giving opportunities, right? And so, if you had to offer just a piece of advice to a teenager who was sitting here who's like, listen, I'm trying to get to the next level. Life ain't been no crystal stair. It's been a little bit difficult. What can I do, right? Like, what would I do? What type of advice? It could be character-based, it could be career-based, whatever. What type of advice would you give to somebody who's just trying to get to the next level?
Well, it sounds cliche. I feel like kids hear it all the time, but I would say don't be afraid to fail and come into whatever environment you're going into with an open mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like me not being afraid to fail has gotten me this far in life and is going to keep getting me far in life because you just tried things. When you're talking about branding, I don't think you should ever put yourself in a box. You just try whatever you're interested in and, you know, you'll find that thing that works for you, but don't be afraid to fail and, you know, success will come your way.
Awesome. Real quick, 15, 20 seconds, a quick piece of advice.
Be yourself and don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone because then that'll take you far. It'll get you really far in life.
Awesome. Stepping outside the comfort zone, I think, is perfect. And guys, we have two people here who are going through it, who are living it, and working to be productive members of our community and this society right now. And so it's important to look at the people who have done it before you and really see what people have done to become successful. So I'm excited to have DeMonte and Sierra on with us today to talk about college, the things that they never told us. This is Youth Uncut, and this is the Focus Youth Network. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.